Hello Stampers! I've got a easy fun fold for you today. This is a diagonal fun fold and it's super easy, and this is so cute because it just lifts up here in front. This opens up and there's your great sentiment. I decided to break out some of my favorite designer series paper today and team it up with the Treasured Kindness. So we have the Treasured Kindness stamp set here. This is a beautiful tree, and it always reminds me of a tree you might see on safari. So I thought it'd be fun to team it up with a brand new paper pack. And this is like an animal. Isn't this great? Has all kinds of animal prints in it. This is just 3 of them that I'm showing here, but it has like a zebra print and all kinds of things in it. So it's a lot of fun to use, and like I said, that's like an animal. And then the Treasured Kindness stamp set. So we're going to get going on. We're going to start with our main panel and get that done. So like usual, we're just going to go step by step through this. Now all the pieces for this card, I have the measurements for it down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them down there, along with all of the links to the products that'll take you directly to my online store where you can shop for them 24/7. So we're going to start with our sun in this scene. Now all the images are from that Treasured Kindness stamp set. And I'm going to stamp this sun in pumpkin pie ink. And this little basic white panel that we have here is 2 by 5 and an eighth by 3 and 5 and an eighth. So I'm just going to take this sun image. It has this great sun with all the swirls going around it. So it's really easy to use, and I'm going to stamp it in. I'm going to kind of come clear down here on the bottom of the panel. I wanted it to look like the sun was really low in the sky in the scene. So I even have it coming off of the paper just a little bit at the bottom. And that was with pumpkin pie. Then we're going to start coloring our sky in. And I'm going to start with the light color, which is Mango Melody, and a blending brush. And I'm just going to add some of that down here at the bottom. This is like a yellowish orange color. So that would be our bottom color for our sunset that we're doing. So there's our Mango Melody. And then I'm going to go back to that pumpkin pie. I'm using a blending brush again. I'm just going to clean my brush off here a little bit on my scrap paper. And I'm going to make like a swoosh mark. I'm going to go back and forth here. And I want it kind of rounded there for this scene, just so it looks like that you have the sun is like radiating a bit here. Just going to blend that around a little bit. And there is our pumpkin pie. And then we're going to get a bit darker here with Cajun Craze. I've always thought these 3 colors just make the greatest sunset. Now again, I'm making like an arch with this color up here at the top. And that was Cajun Craze. Okay, so we're moving right along here. This thing goes together really fast. So we're going to stamp our tree trunk with Early Espresso. I just love this tree because it's stamped in pieces, so you can easily stamp it, don't have to do any coloring. So the main tree trunk, I'm going to stamp in Early Espresso. And I'm going to stamp it just, I'm going to say 1/2 inch from the bottom. And there's the tree trunk. Now we're going to put in a lighter color on the tree trunk. See, it has this great stripes in it, like the tree is twisted. And so we're going to put a lighter color over that. And that was early espresso. We're going to go to Crumb Cake. And it has this little piece of tree trunk that is solid, and that's what we're going to stamp over the bottom of this tree trunk. So you just line it up and give it a stamp, and that kind of fills in where those stripes are. So again, that was Crumb Cake. And oh, while we have the Crumb Cake, let's get that back out. I just want to stamp these solid images where the leaves are. So these are leaves sections here, and this is going to be Crumb Cake. And this is the solid one, not the detailed image. And you're going to lay these like right on top of the branches. That way they look like they're connected a bit. And then I'm going to get soft suede out here. And I have the detailed. Now this is the detailed image for the groups of leaves. And so I'm going to stamp this with soft suede so it's darker, and it's going to bring those forward. We're just going to line them up. I'm going to bring them down just a little. Give them a stamp there. Isn't that great how that tree comes together? That just makes me so happy. It's so easy. Okay, so that was soft suede. And we're going to get our early espresso back out here, and we're going to put our ground in. Let me show you a super simple way to do this ground area. So I'm just going to take my panel here, I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to take a Post-it note, and I'm just going to come down and just have the bottom of that tree trunk showing there. And then I'm going to just do direct to paper. You can also use a blending brush with this. I just find it easier just to do this. So I'm just taking the short end and I'm just going to drag it across, and I'm going to put lots of pressure on it so it gets nice and dark. So that's a super easy way to color in that ground and get it nice and dark, and there is your scene. So we have that all done. We're going to set it aside. And then I'm just going to flip my scrap paper over as usual because I don't want to get ink where I don't want it. There we have clean work area. Okay, so for our pieces, I have an early espresso panel here that's 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. I'm going to get my Simply Scored out here. And I'm just going to put it there, move this over to 4 1/4 so I know where I'm going. I just have my score tool. Just going to bring this right down. And there's our panel all scored. Okay, so we have that one, and then I have another panel here that we need scored. And this one is 3 by 8, and we're going to score it at 4 inches. So that scores it right in half. So we're just going to fold this one and set it aside. Now this panel here, we're going to take and cut this panel on this side, and we're going to cut it from this score line down to the bottom right corner. So like I said, we cut it from the score line at the top to the bottom right corner, and you're just cutting off that triangle. So there is the front of your card, and we're just going to fold that up. And I'm going to just get my bone folder here and crease those. Okay, so we have those two pieces. And then we have another piece that we need to cut. And I had cut a piece of animal print. And I decided to use like this reptilian one. And this was 3 7/8 by 5. And then I cut it on a diagonal from the top corner down to the bottom right corner. So we have this triangle left. All right. And then we have one other piece that we have to cut. And this is a crumb cake panel. And it's 4 by 5 1/4. And we also cut it on the diagonal from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. And that gives us our triangles to go on the front of our card. So I'm just going to adhere these together. You have that little trim there for that crumb cake. There we go. And that kind of pops against this early espresso. And this is our front of our card. Isn't that animal print just gorgeous? I just love it. Okay, and then for the inside of the card, we have a crumb cake panel that is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Just going to adhere this on. Got that little border there from the crumb cake. And then we're going to add this to the inside of the card. Tell me, this is one of the easier fun folds, and it's just so cute. So many things you can do with it. Today I just decided to grab that animal print paper pack out, and then I designed a panel to go on the front of it so we could use these prints because they are awesome. Okay, so I have my little folded piece here, and this is the inside of our card. And I have a white panel here. This is the same size as our main panel. So it is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. And I just want to stamp my sentiment real quick. I'm going to do that in soft suede. There we go. And I'm going to attach this to the inside of my card, but I'm going to back it in a piece of crumb cake. This crumb cake panel is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. It just trims that out perfectly. Now I added these little layers, these little crumb cake layers, but you can certainly do without them. If you don't like to have that many layers, I know some people don't care to have a whole lot of layers. I mean, they're not necessary, but I just thought they were cute to bring that, just have that little edge to our main panels. Okay, so that went on the inside of our little card. And then the outside of our little card is going to have our tree. And I have another crumb cake panel. This is the same size as the one that we put on the inside. And this is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. I'm going to add my main panel to it. There we go. And I just want to put some little Baker's Twine here. I got the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. It has all these different colors that are neutral colors. I'm going to use this one that looks like it's crumb cake. And I'm going to add this to my card here, and I'm going to have a long tail coming off of this. I'm just going to hold it there and then start wrapping this around a few times. You can do it as many times as you want. I think I did 5. Then I'm going to leave another long tail. And then give it a snip there. Then I'm just going to tie this in a good knot on my panel here. This is when we always need an extra hand, right? Okay, so there's one tie. I'm just going to move that around, and I'm going to tie it one more time so it lays correctly. There we go. Give a trim to these ends. And there's the little knot for it. All right. So now I'm going to put this on the front of this little card here. And I'm going to pop it up using Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, I have my Stampin' Dimensionals on, the backing's off. So I'm just going to center it up here on this front of this little card. And I'm not going to press it down until I see that it's straight on here. That way it's easy to pull off and straighten. Okay, there we go. We have it straight on there. Give those another little tug there. There we go. Okay, so now we have our little card. It's all ready to put on the inside. I'm just going to put glue on the back of this. You use whatever adhesive you like. I like using the glue because it gives me a second to move things around. Now I'm going to put this on the inside of this card. And one thing, you have to make sure that it crosses over correctly. You don't want it too low to where it gets hung up here on this corner. And there we go. There is our card. It's all ready to send to somebody. Isn't that cute? So easy to do. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a go. Thanks for joining me today. Toodles.